This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. Dave Ridley here, reporting in from Seabrook, New Hampshire. In the vehicle ahead of me, a revolution is being plotted. Quiet and peaceful, but a revolution nonetheless. This is Max. He's a Free Stater from Deerfield. He believes that he has found the perfect haven for Free Staters moving to New Hampshire. Or at least he says he's investigating Seabrook as such a possible place.
Hi, how are you? I'm Angel from Century 21. Careful on the steps
Hi,
here.
Angel.
Be very careful. If you want to go in, I can start with.
So Max is looking at home after home in the Seabrook area, actually in Seabrook proper.
You want me to say it?
Oh yeah, what are you saying?
Yep. This one is $210,000.
This one is on the border with Massachusetts. Then if you drive down this way, you end up finding you're within 2 miles of 3 different beaches.
And here's a shot of one of the beaches that Seabrook is close to, Hampton Beach. It's respectably pretty, even in winter, even with a storm coming in. Max is actually a merchant mariner who's off at sea several months out of the year at least. That may help explain some of his interest in Seabrook. Max says he's taken an interest in Seabrook for several different reasons. And he believes other Liberty lovers may want to do the same. First, he says, property taxes here are relatively low.
In addition, Max says snowfall amounts are much more modest here than in other parts of the state. Winter temperatures tend to run higher.
And another advantage in wintertime is that rents apparently get pretty cheap here. During the wintertime, at least. He believes that might work well for someone doing month-to-month renting in the wintertime. And that Seabrook might be a good place to have another Porcupine Manor. In other words, a rental house that holds a lot of Free Staters and is owned by one.
So Angel and Max are now checking out the barn on this vehicle. I'm just videotaping from out here because I actually don't have the permission of the property owner to film inside. But why is it that you find Seabrook interesting?
It's got the lowest taxes of any coastal city in the continental U.S. There might be some towns in Alaska somewhere that might have lower taxes, but the property taxes here I think are, what, $13.09 per thousand, so you're looking at a big property like this where the taxes are only about $2,700 a year. And
Seabrook is home to a nuclear plant. Some folks feel that helps keep the property taxes low. Its proximity to the seacoast gives Seabrook a sort of different look from most of the other parts of the state. You really don't find much wide open space of this type in New Hampshire. Max says he really likes the way that a lot of parts of the town are developed, although I'm not necessarily going to be able to show you all of that in this report.
What would be your plans if you buy something in Seabrook? What would you want to do with it?
Buy it and then maybe renovate it a little bit. Some of these properties need to have some work done on them, and then rent out a couple of rooms to potential activists who are willing to get involved in local politics here and help out.
Well, now in terms of your research, what are you finding? Are you being led to move forward or not?
I think Seabrook is probably the best, if not, or it's one of the best, if not the best towns There are a lot of available properties right now, but there usually aren't. The resale values on the properties are generally pretty good, and this is just a really good time to get into the market on the seacoast. But have to look into Hampton Beach and Portsmouth and Hampton and some of the other towns that are here, and do our research and see if this really is the best town, which I think it is because of the power plant and the jobs and the proximity to the border.
I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but there are some pretty scary things happening in this building, the State House in Concord, New Hampshire. Fortunately, there is the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. They're fighting back, but they need your help. They offer free training. They offer courses, ways that you can learn how to be most effective in fighting for liberty inside the State House. Visit nhliberty.org to find out when the next class is. If you take it, you'll be a much more effective voice at stopping these folks from taking away your liberty. nhliberty.org.
What's your... Oh, I'm sorry. What's your long-term goal in terms of, moving people to this area?
Well, see if we can get 20 or 30 people in, and that would certainly be more than enough to have an impact on town politics and get the people, educating each other and talking to other people and being good neighbors and really working on the town and showing up to school board meetings and meetings at City Hall.
What would be your goal in terms of the direction that politics would take if you were having an impact on it?
Seabrook is one of the towns with pretty lax zoning laws and rules and pretty low taxes, and has a really good police department and fire department, and I think in general the best thing to do would be to keep Seabrook pretty much as it is. It's not like a town like Portsmouth or maybe even Hampton where you've got to fight with City Hall and then try really hard to bring about difficult legal changes. It's more like the state of New Hampshire in general, where we just have to work to keep New Hampshire as it is, rather than letting some of the outsiders come in and take over.
You take more.
No, that's okay.
But when he comes back to make a final decision, I'll get permission for you to tape that.
Oh, thank you.
Do it like that.
Yeah, all right. Well, so
Thank
Max is
you.
driving off now with Angel from Century 21. They're going to go look at more properties. As Max begins what may be a revolution to keep Seabrook, Seabrook. This is Dave Ridley reporting out from Seabrook, New Hampshire, this December 13th, 2007. One quick epilogue, however, to my story. I asked another realtor about the property rates, and I think she verified it is actually, I think she said it was $13.07 per thousand. However, she said rents do not really go down that much in the wintertime unless you get really close to the seacoast. nhliberty.org